The Morning Dump from Hurrdat Sports with Andrew Rogers and Damon Benning.
DB, at some point, I feel that segments on Coffee and Cream in the Morning may expand because we have a lot to talk about, and I know we come to Morning Dump to finish our thoughts most of the time, but it may come to a point to where we need to add some time to that show so that we can finish most of our thoughts there.
Hey, maybe people like us. They want more time. I need more time.
And we need more time to talk about the portal because late in the show, we tried to tackle it for as long as we could. But, oh, man, time just caught up to us, and I looked at DB right away and said, we have to keep talking about this on Morning Dump.
You and Cyndi Lauper. You fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting.
Thank you.
Time after time. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry.
So sorry.
Because we got to talk a lot about Ernest Hausman, but we did not even mention the name Malachi Coleman at all. And he's somebody that decommitted. Not to say that doesn't mean he'll recommit, but he's now overlooking all his options. And with the coaches stopping by multiple different schools, I would not be shocked if Matt Rule has somebody stopping by Coleman's soon-to-be alma mater.
Yeah, and I think Coach Rule has been there before. He's taken over programs in various positions.
So you think he's already been there?
No, I'm saying in
this position. I'm with you.
Position of having to re-recruit and seeing what guys are about. And sometimes guys have to be careful not to overplay their hand either. So I'll be curious to see how this whole thing unfolds. I'm not surprised in the slightest bit what's going to happen here. And Nebraska will do their due diligence, as will Malachi Coleman, so we'll see what happens.
Follow our guy Brady Oltmans of Hail Varsity on Twitter. He has been on top of all the recruiting news as well. There are a lot of options out there, but we recommend you go the Hail Varsity route because we have a promo for you. Use that monthly promo AR, that yearly promo DB to get the first news coming out of Lincoln. You get all the perks at Hail Varsity Club as well. It's just a long-term investment that pays off in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, listen, the portal is going to be busy. It's not just going to be the Nebraska guys that enter the portal, but you've seen here locally just right across the river, Arlen Bruce IV, Keegan Johnson, two wide receivers. They're probably their best two wide receivers, especially after Charlie Jones exited late last summer. There's going to be guys for the taking. McNamara has already said yes to Iowa.
Explain that a little bit. Because,
I don't know. I mean, some people say tampering. Some people say good fit. Some people say I can win a job, and I think we're a quarterback away. Like, maybe that's what McNamara thinks.
So, Cade McNamara, first off, he was able to do this now because he was a grad transfer.
Correct.
Or is a grad transfer. Yeah. There was a lot of confusion on social media because, the transfer portal is new, but if you are a grad transfer, you really don't have to abide by the rules, essentially, that are laid out on paper. But Cade, four-star prospect in that 2019 class. He played in 14 games in 2021. He was their guy that led them to the college football playoff. He lost the starting job, though, to JJ this year. But it also didn't help that he got hurt in week 3.
Correct.
And Iowa has struggled mightily on offense this season. They ranked 123rd nationally in scoring and 122nd in passing. I look at this move for Cade, and not to say that it can't be a good fit, but it's hard to imagine that Iowa's going to become this heavy pass offense.
I just think it's about the relationships that guys have once they come out of the portal, and that's what it is. And maybe he's hit it off with the folks at Iowa, because here's what I think we undersell. Athletes that hit the portal have an irrational sense of belief in themselves. You don't make it this far at the Division I level without thinking that you can be that guy. And maybe McNamara thinks that he can be the difference, right? He's seen some other quarterbacks do it. He saw – listen, nobody thought highly of Rudock when he left Iowa to go to Michigan, kind of the other way around, but Rudock believed in Rudock. So sometimes, especially at the quarterback spot, it's just kind of what you believe that you can bring to the table, and they got some other good pieces, especially if you can keep Proctor. I think you like what's going on with Caleb Johnson at the running back spot. Maybe he sees some pieces with Lachey at tight end. So, I mean, he probably has a little bit more intimate knowledge of how they want to work around him, but a quick decision, and I think athletes always think that advantage them when it comes to being able to change a program.
I'm sure he envisions the winning culture that Iowa has presented to over the years because of their elite defense.
Yeah, they do put themselves in positions to play for Big Ten West championships.
When you put a good quarterback at the helm offensively, and you have that defense that can keep points off the board, now it just boils down to you performing for your team. And I also wonder if he wanted to get out of the East and go to the West so that now he can compete for a Big Ten championship if and when Michigan's not there.
Yeah, that's a good point. The more you know.
So who really knows why guys make moves? And, you kind of have to wait and see for the year until that time rolls back around in August where you can say, that's why he did it. This is why he did it. And you mentioned Keegan Johnson's name, and this is something that we'll finish on here. Keegan Johnson, local kid. Going through the portal and a new coaching staff may benefit Nebraska more this year than it did last year. And I say this especially with Keegan Johnson. I'm not saying that he'll end up here, but I think, he has the possibility to end up in Nebraska.
It's going to have some big-time offers, so it's going to be competitive.
But talk about how major Nebraska's win was against Iowa this year to show to Keegan Johnson that even at our low, we can beat the best.
Yeah, interesting point. I didn't really look at it like that until you said it, but maybe that'll have something to do with it. I just know that as a guy that only played in 2 games, was hurt, feels pretty healthy now. He's highly competitive. He's had a chance to kind of step back and gauge the scene. He knows how the game is played. He's extremely mature for his age and very savvy. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out for KJ.
2.5 minutes here, DB. Let's have some fun. Let's get to that 10-minute mark, and we'll get out of here. Would you rather questions coming your way. It's Friday. Let's be loosey-goosey going into the weekend. Would you rather hunt and butcher your own meat or never eat meat again?
Hunt and butcher my own meat.
Man, that'd be dirty.
As opposed to not eating meat again?
That's true.
Oh, I'll figure it out. Yeah. I don't know what else I'd eat.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I do the same.
Cheese, almonds, and peanuts? What else would I eat?
Would you rather have people spread a terrible lie about you?
That's happened before.
Or have people spread terrible but true tales about you?
The true tales.
What would be a terrible true tale? Like that you wear the same pair of underwear for a week, which you do?
Or that I don't. I mean, however that works. Or obviously having gone through a divorce, right?
Yeah.
There's some terrible truths there. And I'm okay with that, right? I had to come to grips with that. I'm definitely going to take the terrible truths over the terrible lies.
Would you rather have a third nipple or an extra toe?
Extra toe.
What foot?
Left, because I'm right foot.
Do you think that really matters if you had 6
I don't know.
on the left?
I like to sometimes punt and go kick field goals with the kids.
So if you had 6 toes, you couldn't do that?
I don't know. I feel like my equilibrium might be off. What's wrong with my balance?
You know what? Great point. What if that helps your plant foot?
Exactly. I'm always thinking.
Yeah, I know you were thinking that.
Dude, where'd you get these questions? What is going on?
So it'll be the Benning 6?
Exactly. Yes.
One more, and then we'll get out of here.
Well played, Liquid.
Would you rather win 25 G's or your best friend win 100 G's? No cahoots here. It's not like he wins 100 and gives you 50.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep. It doesn't happen like that.
Oh, then give me the 25.
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
Yeah, that's totally what I was thinking, because there's a couple guys that would, break me off. For sure. Here, DB, you cheered for me to win this. I got you. But
Why
you're
not
not letting me do that.
But that was stated in the Would You Rather. You can't do that. Can't change the rules.
President of No Fun Police. I'm Andrew Rogers.
Yeah, and I'm a big gamer, too, so I'm competitive. I'm going to make sure we stick to the rules.
Big game. I like it. Big game hunter.
Like your meat.
Like, sort of. Kind of.
That's the first would you rather question, people.
It's a little loose.
Hey, thanks for joining us this week. We appreciate you. We'll be back next week. More Morning Dump, more afterthoughts. Coffee and Cream in the morning on Hail Varsity Radio. Tune in 7 to 9 a.m. We are up bright and early so we can feed you that sports news that you've been fiending for. And there's a lot going on this weekend, so
absolutely.
we can touch on a lot of different things. And it's probably going to be hard to focus just on a few things that day, but if we don't get to maybe a talking point that you're interested in, come to Morning Dump. It's probably there. Wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, you can check out Benning Bites in the morning as well, the Sports Six-Pack in the afternoon. We'll see you next week.